All right. Welcome everyone to the NiQ Community Cup. This is the grand finals of the Iron to Diamond tournament. So I'm excited to see interesting plays today. I want to see interesting map picks. I want to see flavorful agent compositions. And most especially, of course, because of course it's a tournament and it's a grand finals, we want to see clips being made. So I would love to see, especially that we have these two very prominent teams in the brackets. We have Gago Bros against FNF Esports, and yeah, I'm excited to see two of them go head to head against each other. And especially considering again it's an Iron to Diamond tournament, it's a bit of a big skill range, but we're going to figure it out. We'll see how they play it out, and yeah, we're going to head into the map veto over here. Like as I mentioned, I'd like to see very interesting map picks, maybe Lotus, because that would be cool, right? Unfortunately, it is the first ban. I would have loved to see possibly a Harbor play come out on Lotus, but unfortunately, we won't be able to see that. We would also. I'd like to see Pearl maybe instead of all the vanilla maps made, like, namely Ascent or Split. But Split, because of the changes, should be interesting to watch nonetheless. And having casted Gago Bros before, they have a new roster, so this is going to be quite interesting to watch. I want to see how they play this one out compared to the previous tournament, and I also do want to see if they do anything. I guess if they show any improvement since their last tournament here for NiQ. As we wait for the next map ban, and I'm not sure if Gago Bros has been banning their next map, but we're just going to hold on for that one. I do want to see new agent compositions also mentioned, and I do want to see maybe the end of the Sage era, as we've seen mostly through VCT. And there's a split ban. There goes, I guess, the new split, as people kind of dread, honestly, because it breaks their crosshair placement compared to how it was before. But going back, I do want to see the end of the Sage era, especially if Icebox is going to be played. Switching out Sage for Harbor, using that Cove to completely just replace the wall. And then I'm pretty sure Killjoy will still be a powerful pick in any matchup, honestly, because of her retake potential, because of how she locks down a site, how she anchors, and basically her utility is just spot on. FNF actually picked Pearl for their first map, and we'll have to see what Gago Bros picks for their starting side. Pearl tends to be a mixed bag. I at this point, even I wouldn't know if Pearl is attacker sided, defender sided. It's such a coin flip from either side. If you basically know how to hold down angles, especially the long range onto B ramp, all the way back from halls, I think it's pretty much over. I'm assuming there will be lots of operator plays coming in, and even marshal plays for the eco rounds. And yeah, I feel Pearl is a good way to start things because, as I said, it's a coin flip, and not much is going to really determine on either side. There could either be a stomp, a massive comeback, a close game, and it's just we'll never know until it happens. We're going to wait for Gago Bros to take their first pick, and I do want to see maybe Haven. Unfortunately, it is Fracture, but we have to look forward to that because it is another coin flip of a map. It is technically attacker sided. You have to take advantage of the ultimate orbs, of all the different possible angles or entries for sites, especially considering that the spawn is right in the middle, and the map ban that is next is Haven coming out from FNF Esports. So we're not going to see 3 sites at all this tournament, or at least for the grand finals. Unlucky. But Haven is a good way to eliminate so many entry points compared to Fracture, for example, which is only 2 sites. You have 3 sites on Haven. The next map ban is Icebox, and the decider map is, surprise, surprise, it's Ascent. So good to know. FNF is going to take that technically, but we're going to have to look at the where the teams start. Cool. So we're gonna wait for the match to start, and yeah, I'm excited to see Pearl. We're just waiting for the match to start. It should start pretty soon as the administration is ready to go, and we're also kind of figuring out which sides the teams are going on. Yeah, apparently we're going to have to wait for the teams to switch over. They do have the sides completely swapped over. And so we'll have FNF Esports starting on the defending side, while Gago Bros will be on the attacking side. As I mentioned, it's a bit of a coin flip. We wouldn't know how the map would play out until we actually see it. But talking agent compositions, we should. I'm looking forward to a fade because that's a typical pick on Pearl. We also have possibly KO because he is quite meta, just denying a lot of information while gaining information, and he also takes control of the map in different ways with his flashes, with his nades. I'm assuming, hopefully, people have their double initiator compositions as we go into agent selection. Now, we are going to have to look at the first picks. There is Little Bianca with a Raze pick. Hopefully, that's paired up with a fade, because the Raze nade and the fade seize is still a very powerful combo. And we've on the opposite side, actually, we've got a Neon. So something different. We used to think Neon was meta for this map, but I'm not sure. We haven't really been seeing Neon on Pearl. We do have Cypher though, especially with the much longer tripwires. Ooh, that's a Yoru pick by the Jimmy, and we're gonna have to see how that works, because that's two duelists with so much rushing potentials, especially on the attacking side when they're starting. So how they're going to play on defending is going to be interesting, because that is a very, very aggressive comp. On the other hand, we also have two duelists for the defending side. YTFK has locked in Reyna, and there's a Killjoy. That's their choice of Sentinel compared to Cypher. So Cypher doesn't really have so much potential for remake.
Your agent.
But it should be interesting, because that is more of a Cypher does have a more global presence because of his tripwires. They don't really deactivate out of a range. And yeah, Astra is the solo smoke agent for the defending side, while we have Viper, the solo controller, for the attacking side. And personally, I wouldn't know how you would go with only one controller having it as a Viper, because that is, you put your wall down and that's basically it. The only smoke you can technically retrieve or use again is your smoke orb. We're gonna have to see how this works, because if they're playing with such an aggressive composition and only a Viper as their controller, they're going to have to commit constantly to sites, and yeah.
Thank you.
We're gonna have to see how the attacking side approaches. Will it be an A hit, maybe a mid hit? I personally don't think mid is too good for Yoru or Neon. Neon can slide in with a shotgun, but that's about it. She could get traded out instantly, if not approached carefully. But it seems to be a mid hit right here. There's a heavy presence going into mid doors, while the rest of the team hangs back, and only a turret just to hold Blink.
There.
First contact, they take the turret down.
I'm out of here.
And they use a Prowler to clear out that link into spawn. Now comes the rush into B's side. Neon Wall comes down, Reyna's under pressure. Everyone's getting rolled over onto side in B. And that's a plant. They're left to retake from Link and from the flank, but no tripwires are down, so they have to get ready for this. There's a ping coming out, so they're aware that someone could be flanking. The Raze bot to make sound for that. Cypher trying to hold close, he gets one before going down. Oh! 1v3 left for Little Bianca. And that's a failed 1v3 retake onto side. So many people were revealed. Nice try, but that's a first round going to Gago Bros. A bit, yeah, that was, as I mentioned, it's expected for them to go fast into site. They only have one controller, and they have so many aggressive agents, and you're pretty much your only initial information coming out from Fade. Now, I'd like to see how they hit A, because that would pretty much be the same thing onto A main, but how they take control of Art is my concern. As they now note Fade has been holding an Art. Ooh, Little Bianca takes one before going down into A main with an aggressive push. Now they flood onto site, and then they try to retake from Art and Flowers. Your TP's into backside, and Astra has to rotate all the way from B. Will they wait for her, or will they just take in contact immediately? The Jimmy trying to take aggressive picks here. Reyna's chunked down. Her health is close to half. Ooh, if that Astra had another gun, she would have had to pick on Tiara maybe, but there she goes. It's a 1v4. And they know exactly where she is. I don't think... Yeah, no, definitely she would be able to hang on to this. Goes down, 3 people peeking her at the same time, just running her down. Clean so far from Gago Bros against FNF Esports. But now you'll see the rifle round and the bonus from Gago Bros. Paranoia is keeping the slate clean with zeros across the board, but we're going to have to see, because that Viper will do so much damage if the ult goes down especially. And now we see the tripwire actually for B main. They're going to try and reaggress into A or through mid. But actually, you know what? FNF Esports has a bit of a read. They're trying to take picks early. Pushing into top mid. Little Bianca with one, the instant trade from Neon.
I'm out of here.
Just instantly dips after. The Jimmy, though, has infiltrated Art. Killjoy's left alone on site, but the turret is watching both main and Art. Here's the footsteps. And now they try to enter into site. Cypher's in. Distracted by the turret. Neon, still not knowing where to look for the Killjoy. Misses a stun, but doesn't miss the bullet onto the head. Now it's a 3v2 onto site. They'll be able to get the spike down, but...
Spike planted.
That Fade is very low on health. YTFK trying to get into Flowers. 2 people coming from Art. But the positioning is good from the Viper. Leaving the Neon on site, but Neon goes down. Now they have to look for this Viper. 2 people low in health. Viper gets one. Paranoia gets another one. Defuse comes in just in time to trade out Paranoia. That's round number 1 for FNF Esports, saved by YTFK. But look at their eco, it's broken. They're pretty much left to go for either no half shields or weaker guns such as the Guardian, well, kind of weaker, and the Spectre. While you have Gago Bros basically with a healthy eco, only 1 Spectre on the board. Yeah, I'd like to see them try and reaggress B, but maybe hold on to that mid presence so that they have more pressure coming on, especially with Raze and Fade just holding constantly all the time in mid. Euro TP just going to the back of side, but Astra's waiting. Reyna's going, circling around into holes. Smoke comes down. They need more info to enter site, unless Euro just runs in. Ruby gets a pick onto Cadillacs. And Reyna goes down and back into holes. Ernoya gets another pick, the Jimmy gets a pick onto bypass, and they get the plant down. It's now a 2v4. Does Fade have any health? Fade is dying. In Link.
One enemy remaining.
Haunt is instantly destroyed, and it's another clean post plant coming out from Gago Bros. Well played so far. Now with the gun advantage, especially with their eco being broken on the side of FNF Esports, it was expected to go their way, but if anything, and it is a very popular thing to happen in this community, thrifty rounds are absolutely dangerous. Oh, definitely. They've been quite popular even in the open division tournaments. But now they've actually done a switch up of sorts. Killjoy's back on A. Astra now holding from Art actively, while Fade is just circling around playing more rotation. While, yeah, Gago Bros are playing this very quietly. No noise being given, nothing, no information. And Raze is holding with a shorty in mid doors. But everyone else is in A main. Now the first noise is made in A main, getting the ult orb. Now onto Killjoy, trying to hold onto the site, while the rest are holding from Art. Viper Wall covers them out. Yoru uses the gate crash, a shorty pick! Oh no, there come the pistols! And then now the showstopper gets a pick onto Pronoia. Oh, this looks dangerous. It's a 4v2. They've picked up their guns. And Cypher, Neon, they're just holding onto A main. How do they get in? Now they do have a spike. They can rotate. But now it's left to a 1v4. This is dangerous. They know where he is now. 3 people at the same time peeking, and they pick up the guns. It is a thrifty round. Here it is again. NiQ community always coming up with the thrifty rounds. Now 2-3 for FNF versus Gago Bros. Yeah, look, playing it slow was working. But I feel like because they know that their comp is aggressive, they'd have to commit anyway to A, especially knowing that the Viper Wall is down, or when it comes down. It's pretty much it. You have to commit. You don't have any other smokes to cover the site unless you, I don't know, forcibly use your Cypher cages. Noise is cut again. That Haunt does not see anyone in A main, but they're pushing mid. Little Bianca does go down, bypass does get the trade. Cadillac's trying to use the ultimate, but with 7 health, it's a bit risky. They can spam through this Cypher cage. Information is gained. Now, they know no one is on A, so they're going to run around to do that, while the rest of the team verges towards mid. Well, Yoru's waiting. He has a TP now going out. Tries to get a pick, but is unfortunately taken out by bypass. Cadillac's trying to farm up orbs again. It only is 6 ult orbs for Cypher. But there goes the camera, just to deny any kind of diffuse coming out. 7 HP though. With no healers on either team, it is a dangerous post plant for Gago Bros. Especially for a 4v3 retake. Adsword does get a pick. Nightfall comes out, gets one tag onto Reyna. Using the Leers just to clear angles. They don't know where the Fade is, but she is taken out. Pronoia now, position known. No Cam gets the flank, and it is done. YTFK gets to defuse, and that's the 3rd round for FNF Esports. It started out with a clean run from Gago Bros, but now it is actually a close game.
Just keep laughing as you use all my gear.
And we're gonna have to see how you know, Gago Bros re-strategizes how else they would approach a site, especially with that composition. Do they just try and forcibly run it down again, or do you take more mid control? Because that seems to be their biggest weakness right now. Mid control, they do get double peaked or instantly traded out in mid doors, or when they try to take control of Link in general. Now, Art hasn't really been an entry point either. They usually either go through Link, mid doors, or through A main, or through B main. So not much Not much variation coming out yet. Little Bianca does get the first pick onto Jimmy. Position is known. Adzor does get Little Bianca in mid doors, so that opens it up a little bit more, but the call is being made. We just have to go B here. YTFK doesn't bite, actually. Here's a Viper will come down, and now the call is being made for the others to rotate from A. Empress is activated. The stun comes out just to stop that aggression. Cadillac's only with a pistol. YTFK does get Adzor. There goes the overdrive. Neon goes in, running into holes. Gets Reyna. Bypass. And the rest of the team have to retake while their position of one is actually known. Overdrive gets another victim. It's NoCam. Bypass jumping back into holes, gets one pick onto Cypher. Actually another for a double kill onto Neon. And Ruby cleans it up. That is a fourth for FNF Esports. Now, Overdrive was actually doing a lot of work there. Either chunking down people before the retake happens, or even through smoke so you can spam it. But the information was there. They pretty much noted where Paranoia was after the haunt, tags her, and unlucky post plant again. That's another weakness from this composition. Your post plant is basically hoping that you get most of the picks before the spike is down, or getting frags even while that's happening. And instead of pretty much just holding other positions or trying to reposition for holding the defuse. As we see aggression actually coming out into A main, that's an adjustment coming out from FNF Esports. Just holding a more aggressive angle. Reyna just running over, leaving the Killjoy to actually anchor B, but the rest of the team seems to be going that way for Gago Bros. They recede that aggression coming into A main. Just going back into their default positions with raise into mid doors. Now they're flooding into side. Gago Bros just taking complete control of halls. You have 4 in the backside. No, that's just 3. That's a Yoru clone. I've been baited myself. As we see, Spike actually hasn't come down yet, but everyone's waiting. The raise is on the flank already. This is a lot of pressure coming out from the side of FNF Esports. Are they aware of this? NoCam does get Cadillacs. The tripwires are down. They can pretty much enter the site. Little Bianca does pick out an Adzor. Neon does trade. Double P coming out from Link. 1 person left, and it is cleaned up by Bypass, who seems to be absolutely popping off. It is 11, 5, and 5 for the KDA. You have a lot of ultimates online as well. I'd love to see those being used, especially the Viper ult. Now that it's online, I would love to see that. And it seems to be the A play, because A is a difficult site to retake if you cannot find the Viper just playing Ring Around the Rosie on A. And yeah, that's where they're going. Now, in case the Viper ult does successfully go down, you have a lot of utility to negate that. You do have the Nightfall from Fade, you do have the Lockdown. But there goes Lil Bianca, picked off with a Spectre. A lot of footsteps being made in A main. But there's no nade to try and stop them anymore, other than Fade and Astra Smokes. YTFK doing a flank. There are tripwires down, but if they decide to rotate early, they're going to get caught off. They do put a danger ping. There is the successful flank. Neon does get the trade again, and yeah, now they're just running back to B. They've taken out 2 people, and hopefully this does stop their aggression, but Bypass is waiting. Do they see the barrel of the gun? Do they even consider her in pillar? No, it gets 1 pick. Gets another, and does not get the triple kill. Paranoia does charade Bypass out.
Last player standing.
And is left onto Viper
left.
with barely any health. Gets tagged even by the Haunt, and NoCam does reposition into holes, while Fade takes Link. but it's over. Low in health. It is now 6-3 in favor of FNF, and I'm concerned because with an aggressive comp like this, I was expecting for Gago Bros to be dominant on the attacking side. There is a timeout coming out from Cadillacs, and yeah, they need to think about this. They need to really approach sites in a way that I guess their best hope here is to get as many picks as possible before putting the spike down, because it seems to be that their post plan is not that strong. Unless the Viper does get any chance to do any lineups or to even put the Viper spit down, which is still available, I don't think they really have a shot at post plants against 4 ultimates that are pretty much used for retakes at this point. You have the Showstopper to stop the actual planting of the spike. You've got the Nightfall to deny any kind of Viper spit, any rats in there, or you've got the Astra Divide just to lock them out, deny any information, and you've also got the lockdown just to flush out any players on the site and just zone them out, or they can take picks from that. So it's hard, it's rough for Gago Bros with that composition. We're gonna have to live with it as we go into the next round. Heavy push again towards B with the tripwire coming for the A main flank. Aggressive peeking from YTFK against Neon. The Jimmy does get a frag onto Little Bianca. A little more pressure relieved from the mid presence that FNF Esports was initially given. And look how much that's opened A, pretty much. Killjoy's backed up all the way into Flowers, just hoping to play retake. And that's exactly where Gago Bros is going. The Prowler does come out into mid, but no one's there. No one's there to actually haunt. Cypher might get the timing here on Fade. I don't think she considers this. The alarm bot is all the way back, and there it is. A site is open. The last person you're worrying about is Killjoy, and YTFK goes down to the flank. Viper Spit goes down, 5v2 for the retake. No Cam does get a pick onto Neon. Now Cadillac's actively watching the flank, but no one's there as of the moment. Killjoy lockdown comes into play. It's invested. They need to flush that Viper out, but the rest of the team is still actively healthy, and the only one who is left on low health is a Viper. The Jimmy with the 3rd pick. And there goes Viper's pit, but they know exactly where she is, and Adzor does get the final kill onto NoCam. That is a much better round from Gago Bros. And as I mentioned, it's because they took picks early. Their best bet is aggression, and that seems to be going into a stop, hopefully, for Little Bianca now considering using an operator. Running over to B, possibly in holes, just to take that long-range angle, but that's not where Gago Bros is going as of a moment. It seems to be a mid to A push. Killjoy again holding down A side. As information's trying to be gathered, but that haunt does not get bypass at all. Just Jigu peeking in Link. Little Bianca holding down the long range angle. Someone's about to peek that Neon. I don't think she considers that there's an op here. Shot misses, and Neon gets the first pick onto Little Bianca. Operator down. Does Bypass want to try and save it?
Who's next?
Yes, she does. Now there goes the Yoru ult for more information, trying to get more control into Link. Now she knows that Yoru's here and is completely annihilated by the Jimmy. Flash is beautiful coming out. Ruby's flushed back into Link, but it's hitting the shots. Now the Nightfall is still available. That's the second flash now used. Ruby now gone from the retake. Nightfall is now not available. And it's up to NoCam and YTFK. Lear comes out. Turret to get information. They're holding from holes and from long, so they're going to have to clear this fast. NoCam does get the Jimmy.
One enemy
Another player into backside, but Neon holds on and actually gets a third kill. It is now 6-5. Another close game that we're watching.
Last round in the half.
Now, no one's gonna suffer from an eco breakdown, anything like that, but it seems to be the most disadvantage we have at eco is that Bypass only has half shields, and Little Bianca does only have a Spectre, but you still have a lot of ultimates online. I would love to see them being used, especially because, well, it's the last round. You have to use them as the best to your ability. Overdrive is available for Neon though, as it's another B aggression. Playing it a bit slower. Op is heard. They have to back out from that one. Now, not much noise being made elsewhere. Reyna is holding from Link now, so that's a bit of a difference. But Cypher, again, so slippery, just missing the alarm bot. But now he's caught off. Just goes away from that. But now they're worried about that Cypher lurk. Just so slippery with those timing and position differences. Boombot does get information. Showstopper is now activated. Does not get anyone! Overdrive comes out, backslide into plate. 3 people gone from FNF Esports. They just flood onto side. Nightfall, the only remaining ultimate for FNF Esports. But that Cypher again just being so annoying, putting so much pressure onto their flank. And someone's already waiting into Link.
One enemy remaining.
Ruby does get Azur. Cadillac's left to take it, and Neon cleans it up with another 3k. Good. Not even good. It's a beautiful post plant coming out for Gago Bros as a side switch, and wow, that was a good comeback, a good recomposition from Gago Bros. Now I'm expecting to see that same kind of aggression in their defending side. I wouldn't know if they're going to split up or actually take the same angle with the 2 duelists though. As you see, there is a tripwire for Art. They might just leave that open. Another tripwire coming out from mid doors. And you have the Viper pretty much committing that smoke from B screens all the way into shops. And that's exactly where they will be aggressing first. FNF Esports, Reyna taking the lead, as the rest of the team just anchor from deeper positions. They do get the information onto B long though. Tripwire is gone. 2 people flooding into mid link. Bypass does get the Jimmy. And Reyna Astra just holding until they put a smoke down. Fate is locked out from that position. Ooh. Azur does get the trade onto Bypass. And the information that YTFK is still there. Stun tries to try and flush him out. NoCam does get the A anchor Cadillacs. And now it's open, but I don't think they particularly know this. Paranoia does get the better of YTFK. Distracted by the haunt. Chunked down to barely any health. Ruby alone. 2 people reloading in front of each other. Neon tries to reload from a safer position and gets a re-peek onto Ruby. That is 7-6 for Gago Bros against FNF Esports. I just looked at the score right now. Neon does have 21 kills, 8 deaths, and 3 assists. Just absolutely popping off. It is the anti-ego coming out for Gago Bros. While pretty much for FNF Esports, it is a full save unless it's just the shorty plays. Are they going to be playing this slow, just in ratty positions? We're gonna have to see. But if they decide to rush with shorties against Spectres, it is dangerous. We've seen how the thrifty rounds go for this community, as everyone is actually pushing from A main. Do they even consider that shorties are into play?
Satchel out.
Little Bianca satcheling in, gets a shorty kill onto the Jimmy. YTFK with a frenzy onto Neon. This looks dangerous now. Another shorty kill for Little Bianca. Information is taken. Too many people to hit for Adzur. Paranoia's position is now known. Now they're holding with a shorty. Never mind, they're just running in. That's a third shorty kill. We've seen how these thrifty rounds go. That's insane. Usually shorties are not supposed to have that much value, but here they are, they're getting run over by shorties. And all of them just basically came from A main, while the team from Gago Bros was just holding from Art, and, well, if you have a Raze satcheling in with a shorty, say goodnight. Hope for the best. You need to take a breather from that one, as you pretty much have a full save, almost, from Gago Bros.
There.
As
There.
FNF Esports is now taking B side. Viper Molly to kind of flush him out for a little bit, but
There.
not much will stop them. Olivier is now available. Haunt comes out to get information. They don't clear backside entirely yet. Little Bianca does, though. Fully flashed, YTFK does get the pick onto Paranoia, but 3v5 retake with the lesser guns. Yeah, nah, it's not happening. YTFK looks to reaggress. Does get the dismiss out, while the rest of the team is there to pick it up. And Adzur not able to pick up anyone. It is a flawless round coming out from FNF Esports. 8-7 on the board. Very, very close game coming out. And I feel like, you know what? There's not much aggression, surprisingly, coming out from the side of Gago Bros. That concerns me, because, well, that's their entire composition, other than a Cypher just holding back, trying to anchor any sort of entry. But, yeah, no, it's a surprising lack of aggression coming out from Gago Bros on the defending side.
You are divided.
Now Cadillacs is left to anchor. Tripwire is down, has a judge. That Prowler does not clear Cypher, but there comes a Showstopper. Obliterates Cadillacs. Adzur does get the trade onto Little Bianca, but the divide is there. They get a safe plant. Stun comes out, but there's no follow-up. Now, Yoru is holding back, looking for any kind of flank that comes out, but no one's there to actually answer. Everyone is holding a post-plant position from A main. With a much stronger post-plant composition, you have so much to work with. There go the mollies. Reyna now trying to get a flank out. Adzur does go down. Neon tries to hold on, but no cam does get Paranoia as well, my bad.
Enemy remaining.
The Jimmy takes no cam off, but not enough time to defuse a spike. That is another round for FNF Esports. Close, it was very close, and there were a lot of rifles taken out, but the economy of FNF Esports is way too healthy to be deterred, while you have pretty much almost a force buy coming out for Gago Bros. You do see the Judge, the Sheriff, even a Bucky and a Spectre, but barely any credits left for the rest of the team. So they're trying to work with a force buy, and hopefully with ready positions. That's the only way your thrifty rounds would work, unless you also have a rollover of aggression.
There.
But they're holding, they're just playing back. YTFK
There.
is a bit aware of this.
Still inside.
We'll put the Lear out, but there's the Judge, it's hurt. Crosshair placement is absolutely broken by Little Bianca, as the rest of the team is now getting stomped onto side. Cadillac's trying to reaggress into Flowers. Does get Little Bianca, and the ult comes out. Information now gained. Jimmy, 45 HP. Taken away by YTFK.
Last player standing.
Ruby does get Paranoia as well, and Cadillac's with barely any health does go down to bypass. That is 10-7 for FNF Esports. You're looking at that post plant and saying, well, how do we do that other than pressing W, right? There needs to be aggression from Gago Bros to possibly eliminate all that post plant utility, because you have to deal with an Astra pool, you have to deal with Killjoy mollies, you have to deal with so much basically, and you have a Reyna who's super aggressive, and it's working out.
Here.
Now it's a heavy push with the Astra, just holding on to shop, and they hear that Yoru just running around, but no, he goes into Link instead. Decides not to go for the shop flank. They're trying to hold on to side. Little Bianca jumping in again. Does get spammed through the smoke by YTFK, and Little Bianca bypass. Oh, so much is happening. YTFK though, killing everyone. Neon now with the overdrive. Does get the third kill. Knows exactly where Fate is. Astra rather, and does get the 4K clutch. That overdrive doing so much work. She's going hyper. She's zooming away. She knows exactly what she did. 4K for the Neon on the defending side. Just insane. Now at 25 and 12. That's what I would like to see. I'd like to see that level of aggression again, honestly. And if they try and pick out A main early, I think that would also be a lot of value. But no. They just hold back again. Yoru holding from Art. While there is a tripwire to follow up if ever they do decide to rush. The gate crashes all the way back in dugout. As barely any noise being made, he does commit to the TP. And now he's out with his ultimate to get information. Neon does get no cam. So many people revealed to be an A main. The Viper Molly just come down. And he seems to be trying to find more information. Judge is in the smoke, but Little Bianca flicks it to Jimmy. And the Showstopper gets Neon. Nade now available again, but Adzor does trade out. Paranoia with another pick onto Rudy. Now YTFK and the Astra bypass. Left alone. That Haunt does know where they are. The Viper spit as well, just to lock down the spike. And Cypher just eating those bullets trying to cross. Bypass does get the spam into the smoke. Adzor with a Spectre to trade. YTFK though, alone in A main. That spike is still left down onto side.
30 seconds left.
With 30 seconds left, but with two members of Gago Bros quite low in health, she's trying to spam through the smoke, trying to get any common angles. There it is, the Judge, a 3K from Adzor. Good hold from Gago Bros. It is now 10-9. Wow. You know, look, Pearl, believe it or not, Pearl has actually had lesser ratting angles, but it is still quite a rat map. They did remove a lot of cubbies for a lot of close angles, especially that box and mid link. It's shortened now, so you can't actually rat behind that, and personally, I'd like that, because I don't like rats, but it's less value, supposedly, for shotguns, while Little Bianca's taking an aggressive peek into mid doors, but the health is significantly lower for a moment. That Molly does stop that push. The Jimmy does get information, whiffs onto YTFK, who does get the kill. And now, well, B-site's not completely open, but after getting that pick, they just decide to back out. Cadillac's almost defeated by timing there, like an average Valorant game. While Astra tries to get more control of A-main, but the tripwire is still down there. So, you have to be careful with this one, Neon.
Better luck next line.
Does not consider that bypass as waiting behind the tripwire, and now A should be a bit more easier to aggress. YTFK does get Cadillac's. Your Cypher now down, and it's now 2v4 retake with all ultimates available for FNF Esports. There goes the annoying post plant again. How do you defeat this one? Or do you just call for a save? Paranoia does get YTFK now to 2v3. But it's still difficult. That post plant is way too strong.
Consume it.
Paranoia blocked off. The molly right next to her. Prowler does come out. Bypass does get Answer. And too many targets for Paranoia. Going down to no cam. It is now 11-9. 1 point away from match point. Now they need to reconsider this again. I think they need a bit of a recomposition. The economy is looking healthy for FNF Esports. Well, oh, it's a broken buy from the side of Gago Bros. They're opting to save for this one, going into match point. But hey, if you can get another thrifty round, be my guest. I would love to see another thrifty round to keep the game interesting, as it seems to be a heavy B push, no mid presence at all, other than an alarm bot being held for the flank. There goes the utility. Adzor does get Little Bianca. 2 members holding from backside. Do they clear this out? Adzor flicks to YTFK, and a classic kill onto Ruby. The spike is now down and back holes, while NoCam, shooting the Yoru clone, absolutely panicking, is now left to 2v5. Molly flies into the face of Yoru, but he TP's out. They're playing this safe. They know the spike is all the way back in halls.
Time to jump.
How do you get back into this? You have a lockdown available, but nothing else. That divide is only good for your post plant as much as I'm concerned, but there goes the Astra smoke, just to try and get rid of other angles. Bypass does get 1, Cadillacs with the instant trade. It is a thrifty round, there it is again, folks. Adzor with 3Ks. I'm seeing a lot of multi-kills from different players in this tournament so far, and that's what we'd like to see, honestly. We'd like to see clips being made, lots of highlights, just working with what they have and playing it well, actually. Now, they get 1 round closer to the gap between FNF Esports, but I'm not sure. They're, the way they're playing things so far can be a bit scrappy. And that's not in a bad way. I think they thrive in that kind of chaos, as it seems to be an A push now. Divide does come out, and the lockdown as well at the same time. Now that does flush out the defending side, but they're happy to play retake. They're just trying to get so many angles. Just waiting, holding on. As Cadillacs actually gets a pick onto Little Bianca, Cypher ought to go down, and now they know exactly where the locations are. No cam, you can't spam through that. Now they know where Astra's going to be coming from. Cadillacs is there to handle that one, while the rest of the team is ready to just play retake here. No cam does get Adzor, and now they're just waiting for that slippery Astra. Their post plant's still way too strong. YTFK does get the Jimmy, and Paranoia. Now it's all up to the Neon 1v4 for the retake. Bypass with the flank. It is now match point for FNF Esports.
Match point.
Now that was well played from the side of FNF Esports. Just that late lurk from Astra, going from basically applying so much pressure into mid doors, taking a pick onto Cadillacs, and then all the way through the sewers to the backside. Just a lot of timing difference, a lot of well thought out positioning from FNF Esports, while you have Gago Bros relying on their aggression. Now it's a heavy B push again. Astra just holding back a little bit, but using that utility.
Face your fear.
Begin.
Nightfall committed to clear out the side. Positions are now revealed. Little Bianca does judge Neon to death. The counter Nightfall now coming out with the positions being brought out, but YTFK still gets Cadillacs. Little Bianca with another judge kill. Showstopper now into play, and that is it. FNF Esports 13-10 on Pearl. We're going to see how Fracture goes, because that was rough. And it was a very interesting and close game, honestly, for Gago Bros. But I feel like it's a big difference in composition. Little Bianca, especially with 7 first bloods, and you have the top frags, Neon from Gago Bros, and then you have Bypass for FNF Esports. We're going to take a little break and see how Fracture goes next. We'll see you soon. Yep. Yep.
So the timer is set for 5 minutes at the moment. Once we hit 0, we'll go back in.
All right, cool. Oh, can you tell me about that? I feel
Wait, is
like
the timer
it's
not on
yeah,
for you?
it's stream delay, so I wouldn't.
There it is. Yeah, there's. I saw the. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, welcome back, everyone. Wait, is it now? Everyone, and welcome back. And we're going to be continuing this series. It is currently 1-0 in favor of FNF Esports against Gago Bros. And we're going to have the next map. It is Fracture. Now, again, this map is a bit of a coin flip compared to Pearl. Technically, it is attackers sided. Sorry, and we're gonna have to see how they take control of the map, how they farm up their ultimate orbs, how they move across the map, how they rotate on the defending side of things, and will they play meta compositions or will they stick to comfort picks? Is my next question. As we have a sub coming in for Gago Bros, and we're gonna see how that plays out because, well, it is not in their favor at the moment. They need to score this to get to a map number 3. Now, for Fracture, hopefully a more structured composition comes out, and hopefully the aggression that we see from Gago Bros is not completely gone, as I'd love to see aggressive plays being brought into Fracture. That's how you take the site in the first place, and they will be starting on the attacking side of things, while FNF Esports will be on the defending side. As we go into the start of the game, we will get into agent selection quite soon, and yeah. For Fracture, if there is still a Viper pick, I'd like to see another controller, as we've seen how difficult it is for Viper to solo control, as we see 2 insta-lock Reynas, one from Lil Bianca from FNF Esports and the Jimmy from Gago Bros, while the rest of their team figures out what they want to be doing. Do they want an operator, agent, namely Jet, as we know that Chamber is absolutely gone from the game. He's been deleted after his nerfs. And do we want to see... Well, I want to see Breach. I want to see a Brimstone. I want to see how they control different parts of the map, their angles. We're possibly going to have more Killjoys again, like Cadillacs here, playing Sentinel. And we'd like to see that Lockdown have more value instead of just zoning out. We'd like to see more retake potential, and even post-plant positions or utility coming out from Gago Bros. That was their massive weakness from the last map on Pearl, and we'd like to see a more, I guess, balanced team, because Yoru, Neon, one controller, Viper, that was, in my opinion, not it. And now we do have the Jet picks coming out, YTFK, and
Choose
well,
your agent.
the Neon from last game. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that. And there's a Breach hover. There is a Breach as well for the side of FNF Esports, and here it is. If Adzor does... I'm pretty sure Adzor's going to lock this in. It is a mirror matchup that we're having on Fracture. We're going to have to see how this plays out. Reyna's not that meta. She barely gets played in even VCT, but if your Reyna has that value of aggression and just landing all of their shots, then it's over pretty much. If you have a Fed Reyna who knows what they're doing, you can rely on them. So yeah, we'll get into Fracture, and hopefully this mirror matchup, it will be interesting. We're going to see... Well, it won't be a comp diff anymore. We can't say that, because it's literally the same agents. Just waiting for the game to start, and... Well, Reyna paired with a Breach, normally when you have something that is for near-sighting enemy players, it's good to have a follow-up from a Breach, and especially with that, with his utility, you have the stuns, you have you have so much utility from Breach just to flush people out from their angles, and to, well, in case they want to opt for it, aggress from one side or another. When you're playing defense on Fracture, it's not really defense most of the time. You'd like... the best case scenario is for you to get a very early pick somewhere, and we'd love to see that. We'd love to see early picks from the defending side. And yeah. Again, it is currently 1-0 in favor of FNF Esports. So yeah, I'd love to see a map 3. Hopefully other people viewing the stream as well, you'd love to see a map 3, keep this game interesting, keep the series going. Yeah. I'd love to see a Jet, by the way. I myself am a Jet main, and just having that agent back being picked, you know, in these, well, even if it's an Iron to Diamond tournament, I'd love to see Jet. How different people play her as we get into the game, finally. I also do want to see how the Killjoys set up their utility. Will it be different per side, or will it be pretty much the same? As we see the defending Killjoy at the moment, that is NoCam from FNF Esports, opting for the B hold, while the rest of the team just trying to figure it out. They have 15 seconds to do that. Breach going into the default position of A, while people are just hanging back. Very deep position so far, because, well, they don't really have to set up anything. As we see a lone agent, no, never mind, they have someone with them. Jet and Breach now approaching from the arcade side. The only one actually on site, technically, is YTFK, holding from tower. Slow push coming out though from Gago Bros. There come the smokes, the ult orb now being taken. YTFK under so much pressure dies to Cadillacs, and now they flood onto site. NoCam not able to do anything, just ready to get to spam. Gets a headshot onto Iz, another pick onto Cadillacs. 3v3 now, 3v2 now. Little Bianca does get the Jimmy. And one player holding from tower. Adzor with so much coming in from the site. Jet left. They're holding the defuse. Sheriff is now being reloaded. Does get another pick onto NoCam, but the spike is gone. It's defused. Little Bianca does get the trade. With 3 kills. 3k right off the bat for the first round on Fracture. FNF Esports looking very, very strong right now, and I'm worried because if Gago Bros don't get that momentum build up, then I don't think they'd have the ability to keep Fracture or to win it for a map 3 for the series. As we see an Ares being used by Ruby in tower, and aggression coming out from B main on the other side of things. Little Bianca does get the Jimmy, while the rest of the team for Gago Bros is now approaching onto A's side. Bypass does get Cadillacs onto Sands. Too many targets for Ruby. Is does kill with a classic, so does Adzor onto YTFK, and NoCam is just pretty much holding on to B. YTFK rotating though from Dish all the way through arcade. Has to clear a bunch of angles. Footsteps now heard in B main. They're just gonna rush onto site, but Killjoy still holding. NoCam with 2 kills. They're not looking this direction in Canteen, and is left with no gun. Just a classic. Does get another kill, but Bypass is there to clean things up. Messy round. It's still worth it for Gago Bros. They did take out 3 players, and considering the eco of the others, this is it was a successful eco round, but now they have their rifles. Adzor left with no shields, and pretty much almost a broken buy. It is their bonus for FNF Esports. They just have to. They're just changing things up all the time, and I like this adjustment coming out from Gago Bros. They are going to be approaching from both Dish and A main. While Little Bianca holds with the Bulldog, tries to spam it out with the bull, but still gets the kill into Cadillacs. No trade coming in until now from Iz onto Ruby. Adzor ready to use his utility onto site. Tries to clear that close angle on Dish. Bypass just plays back. Little Bianca re-aggressing. Jet does get a pick, but then YTFK, Little Bianca, they do get more from the side of Gago Bros. YTFK with another Marshall pick. and they knew where that breach was. Adzor left in a 1v3 situation. Still has 2 flashes to work with, and a stun. But there are too many people flooding in. Reyna Lear comes out, and he's completely blinded. Does not see the Reyna. It is now 3-0 for FNF Esports. With Little Bianca, by the way, no deaths. Little Bianca has not died a single time in that 3 rounds, and that was even their bonus round, so their eco should be very healthy, but at the moment it just looks like they have to buy back a bunch of weapons, but not too much. They did pick up the previous weapons, and kind of a force here, almost, from Gago Bros. You have Cadillacs and Adzor with Spectres. Barely any credits for next round, but we're gonna have to see how they play this out. Jet does get a pick onto Little Bianca, bypass with a trade onto Jimmy. Smokes come down for B side. 2 people to retake immediately, but the flank is coming from the Dish side. Blade Storm now used by the Jet on the attacking side. They see the cross into tower. Alarm bot does follow them, but doesn't explode. No cam. Gets a pick onto tower. But Jet is on site now. No knives left. But now they have side control. Bypass is still being a pest in tower. YTFK gets a pick onto the Jet. Cadillacs trades with a Spectre. Bypass with a 3k to clean things up. And now you have so many ultimates for FNF Esports. How do you negate this? Because you have a Brimstone ult and you have a Breach ult from their side of Gago Bros. And realistically, what you can do to work with that is to attack B. And that would be to possibly use the Brimstone ult to stop the defuse, or you have the Breach ult to just take side. They might want to save that though, because the Killjoy has her lockdown, and Cadillacs might get the timing onto bypass here into Dish. As you consider he's this close, he does not. Now, that's pulled so many rotations. Little Bianca does get the trade onto Cadillacs, but everyone's here to hold on to site. Gago Bro still pushing through. 2 of the ultimates still available, never mind. Brimstone does go down. 2 immediate trades coming out from Gago Bros. That Breach ult is ready to rip. YTFK is not caught by it though, in tower. Drops down, has an op to retake. Switches guns with 7 bullets. The flash does not connect because of the Jet smoke. And it's just left onto the Jet. Position is known. Flash comes out at the wrong time. Completely blind, just flying around trying to get the pick. Vandal against Classic. Ruby does get the last kill and even gets the defuse. Now they have to pick that op up. But what did I just watch? Just completely blind, all the timing differences. And yet, FNF still comes on top with 5-0 on the board. Nothing yet. No response yet from Gago Bros. The Jimmy left on 0 kills. That's unfortunate. Little Bianca on the other hand, it's a bit of a Reyna diff. Just a little bit. 10-2. And the op is saved. Ruby doesn't have a gun, but that should be solved by just possibly landing a gun over. YTFK does have the Blade Storm available. You also have the Killjoy lockdown and the Brimstone ult still ready to use. While you also have more ultimates available on the side of Gago Bros. Early pick onto bypass from the Jet. And there goes a lockdown. In sewers. Trying to get control. But the Jimmy's left on 5 HP. Someone has to assist this raid and get a kill. Op is now heard. They have to leave a counter Killjoy ult as they rotate back to A. Now Iz does take Little Bianca off. Jet smoke just a delay. Plant does go down. Aftershock tries to clear it, but it's way too deep. Never mind, gets a pick onto Adzor. They know where the Jet is, but the rest of the team is rotating over. Cadillacs does get no cam. Ruby does not know where to look. Too many positions to clear, and there goes the op save. They heard it, and now they possibly want to chase it down. Everyone's pretty much left the site. How do they do this? Jet trying to break the crosshair placement. They know exactly where she's holding. Runs into Arcade. I'm sure they'll hear this, but do they consider she's gone to sewers? Now they very much know it's a save, but if you want to hunt this Jet down, you gotta be careful. Does see the Brimstone. Still gets a pick. Cadillac's trying to race to get that trade. Never mind. Doesn't want to risk losing the gun. Their eco is not that great, so that is a good call. And the Jet, well, she's close to her Blade Storm once again for the attacking side. While the rest of the team on FNF, actually, they have to save. They had to save that op, and they've lost all the rest of their guns. Hopefully, they don't get thriftied. Gago bros, that would be terrible. Flash to come out, stops the Jet from aggressing and taking an early pick with the operator. They know where she's holding, but she just rotates all the way back to, well, another smoke. Good luck. Brimstone to come out and clear the site. The Jimmy gets picked off. Attacking Jet just trades it out, but dies to the Killjoy Molly. The rest of the team, they're still healthy. They're able to take the site, but how else do you work with this? The breach now with an operator on the defending side. Molly does miss, does not clear out the angle entirely, but one is holding from tower. Nice headshot from NoCam onto the attacking Jet, while one holds from Arcade. They know one's in tower. Adzor does get the peek off of the turret, and there goes the Brimstone ult just to cover it completely, but that Brimstone ult is dangerous. Cadillac's now with a repeak and gets 2 for their post plant. Well played from the side of Gago Bros. That's what I'd like to see. They have a much stronger composition now, even if it's a mirror matchup. They know how to play these agents, and they are working well with what they have. The only ultimate now for them is the Blade Storm, but that shouldn't be much of a problem because their eco is looking healthy compared to the side of FNF Esports. Well, you still have that Rolling Thunder for Ruby, but we're going to have to see how this works. Ruby is holding A, so if they ever opt to play for retake instead of aggressing, fast push onto Jet. Little Bianca doesn't get an early pick onto Cadillacs, but then here it is. So much footsteps in Sands. This is an easy breach ult. Ruby does get a pick onto Jimmy. Little Bianca, another onto Jet. A third onto Adzor, and it's all up to Iz, who is left on tower. Well, the rest of their team, YTFK running over. Little Bianca does get a 4K, and it is over. It is 6-2 for FNF Esports. I was expecting the Rolling Thunder to come out from all that pressure onto Sands, but apparently not.
Turret out.
It's held onto, and now you still have that ultimate available, while the rest of Gago Bros, they have to build up those ults quite fast if they want to. They need to farm up those ult orbs, while YTFK does get the Jimmy really early again. Another A push coming out, while Cadillacs does try to get picks onto B. No cam there to receive, but does not consider that someone's all the way from there. Here's the footsteps. YTFK does get the denial on the Blade Storm. Cadillac's flank actually works out, and they know where the Jet was. They've taken note of this. She was holding from Dish, and now she has to retake 1v3. The Killjoy is low, but there's a turret. That's information.
Spike planted.
She can smoke this out, but it's still information. Breach stun comes out, tries to dash away, but actually gets caught, and the aftershock is there. Cadillacs goes down as a third kill from YTFK. Ads are holding close.
Enemy remaining.
YTFK considers it. Updraft onto side, just dashes. They don't know where this Brimstone is, but she knows he has the ult. Knows it's fake. Now it comes out. Does not have the dash available to deny it. 18 left. 18 HP left for YTFK.
Here.
Still does not know where Iz is holding. And here he comes. Uses a Sheriff to clean it up. Third round for Gago Bros. Well played with the Brimstone ult. Doesn't even die to the spike. That's well done. And their eco still looking pretty good on the side of Gago Bros, while you also have the broken buy from the side of FNF, but the Jet has her Blade Storm. Now, I want to see this have a lot of aggressive impact. Hopefully, a pair with a Breach, the Breach running over to B. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a play from the two agents. But the rest of Gago Bros, they're just opting to go to A instead, while Cadillacs is trying to apply pressure again into B. Little Bianca, Empress, out, but she's gone. Is with a wall bang headshot. The rest of the team rotates over, making noise with the door. There goes a breach flash, but no one's there to receive it. Cadillacs deep in their spawn. Do they consider she's all the way here? Again, the timing from Killjoy to another. There goes Cadillacs, picks off NoCam. The Jimmy gets to get YTFK off the screen. Ruby does trade it out, but it is now a 1v4, and the Rolling Thunder also available. So if anything goes sour, that's available. Bypass does get a pick onto the Jet, but the Jimmy cleans it up. 3k. Good job. That is now. You gotta let the Reyna cook. I feel like a lot of people in Iron to Diamond, well, we all know this. We do get mad at Reynas, especially when they insta-lock. These two were the insta-lock Reynas we all kind of despise, but you gotta let the Reyna cook, right? You've gotta let her do her thing and try to figure out how the enemy team moves. It is now an eco round coming out from FNF Esports, 6-4, while B has so much going on. There goes the lockdown going into sewers. They have to exit the site. Is ready to smoke for the team. Smokes go down. Jet gets picked onto YTFK. The Jimmy onto Little Bianca. We want this Reyna to cook. Empress now active for the attacking Reyna, while the rest of the team tries to retake past Brim smokes. They're very annoying. Tries to get a pick into the Jimmy, but nice double peek coming out just to try and get that trade if everyone goes down, but the Jimmy ready. Bypass left alone in Canteen. They don't consider he's behind that Brim smoke. The Jimmy still gets the flick. Empress with the 3 kills. It is now 6-5. Still in favor of FNF, but realistically, this is probably a 6-6, and it is an even score. Another close game for this matchup. Again, this is just another hint. We'd like a map 3. I would love a map 3. These teams are battling it out to the very last point. And, yeah. Especially if you go into Ascent, where it is a pretty, well, quote-unquote vanilla map. I'd love to see who comes out on top. Little Bianca with an early pick onto Cadillacs. While the rest of Gago Bros, they try to take point into A, but Little Bianca's left on so little health. Bypass holding that close angle in Dish, but they don't want to commit to this. Operator now heard from YTFK. Jet does get a pick onto Bypass. That angle is now clear. Little Bianca, you gotta be careful. Barely any health. 1 HP for the attacking Jet, and they just completely dip from the A side. NoCam still holding from tower. They know something's up. Lockdown being considered, but there goes the Rolling Thunder. Stun goes perfectly into tower. And, well, that's unfortunate. NoCam does get a turret kill onto the Jet. Adzer also goes down. And there's a defender Killjoy. Now it's much harder to enter. It's a 3v2. And the Operator still into play. NoCam with a 3rd kill now onto the Jimmy, and YTFK just cleans it up. Easy op shot. Looks away for a second, actually, but then just, flicks back, says, well, they can't go anywhere else. It is now 75. Is the end of the first half on Fracture. I'd love to see Gago Bros come back, play a defensive side much better. As I mentioned, I would love to see as well the differences between Killjoy setups for the two teams. But it seems to be that B is the favored position for Killjoy, and instead of A, we have the breach on B. So I think it's just going to be 2 holds from tower, while the rest of the team is just elsewhere. You have the Brim in the middle, just waiting to smoke things out on Cole. And now Jet feeling that pressure from A. Reyna holding from Dishler, YTFK, first blood onto the defending Jet. The Jimmy though, they don't consider that she's on tower. Does get a headshot onto Little Bianca. Oh no, you don't want your utility out in that situation. YTFK with a second kill into Adzer. But the Jimmy's out there to trade. Doesn't get a third kill onto Ruby, but that's damage, pretty much. The rest of the defenders left to retake. Drop heard. Stun is way too far to be considered. Flash is beautiful.
Player standing.
Bypass. And Ruby. 1 kill each. It is now 8-5. That's a pistol round going their way. When you're defending on Fracture, how do you do this against, well, pretty much a strong buy? You've got Spectres coming out, maybe a Bulldog. Would you? I think a tower hold would be realistic, and you play with shotguns. But this team knows how to run it down. FNF know how to roll over sites, and it seems to be a B push. So here we go. Heavy B presence here from main, none from arcade. But the breach stun is good, gets everyone pretty much. Flash ready to go out. Here's a jet dash, and he has to back out immediately. He can't really keep staying there. YTFK ready to receive. No cam does get Adzer. While Cadillacs tries to regress through arcade. Little Bianca with a second kill. Just entering their site. YTFK with another. And it's all down to Cadillacs. But no one looks her way. Alarm bot gives it away, but no cam. Ready. They're all just ready. They're not even staying on the site. They're running it down in their spawn. Just saying, well, it's ours now. Go away. That was well played from the side of FNF Esports. It is now currently 9-5. Looks like a rough game for Gago Bros. The Jimmy, though, has been doing good. Just has to work with, well, that. Defending Jet does get an early pick. There's another one ready to receive the Jimmy with another onto YTFK. Bypass does go down, and now it's 2v5. But you have to consider, this is technically still a bonus coming out from FNF Esports. Their economy is still very much healthy. And, well, they're slowly creeping back into B, but Adzer's here. They still have a turret. If anything happens, he swings off it. And they have a good read of this, actually. They left the 2 duelists back. No cam, unfortunately, gets Cadillacs. But they do have a good read. They're veering back into B. That smoke goes down at the perfect time. Another flash to go out. They've mollied themselves out, essentially, from the side. 37 seconds left. And, yeah. They don't really have anywhere else to go because look at Little Jimmy. Well, not Little Jimmy. Oops, right, I got it mixed up. The Jimmy has aggressed all the way into B main. Is now looking at the right way. No cam. But even with a crosshair there, no cam wins that fight. 16 seconds left. Attacker Killjoy comes down. Adzer has to take the spike, wins it, and the spike is now down in tower. Rip Herd don't even need it to leave the lockdown. 3 players detained. Well, that's intentional. Adzer just clears it up. Well played. that was a good read of Gago Bros. Especially how they knew that the call was given 100% from the Jimmy that they were going to reaggress into B because he's just pushed all the way through A main, and yeah. Jimmy now going into him. A dish. Little Bianca does lose to an Ares. Cadillac's chunked down, but Bypass does get a pick onto the Jimmy and dish. While the rest of the team from FNF try to go into A main. Jet with barely any health does die on site trying to defend it. Cadillac's another pick, but is traded out by Bypass. Adzor to answer. It's now a 2v2 with a Jet pretty much low in health. No ultimates available to retake. But they're playing together. They're deciding to go through the doors. Flash is ready for that. Alarm bot does get the information. But NoCam is lost, looking at the wrong way. Both of them are going through the door, and now it's just a Jet left. Do they consider she's on top? Surely they hear the footsteps. Adzor is too smart for it. Does kill YTFK, and that's a defuse coming for Gago Bros. It is now 9-7. Another close gap between the two teams. They're getting better. They need to cook. And I love the readjustments. And I love the reads coming out from Gago Bros. Unfortunately, NoCam was considering that someone else would be attacking from A main, but both of them aggressed from the doors, so that's unlucky. FNF now on an eco. Pretty much a broken buy. There's a slight hero rifle in the form of a bulldog. Just a fast approach onto A side. Bypass does get the first blood onto the Jimmy. YTFK trying to clear the top of side. Does kill the spike carrier. But they do have side control. Cadillac's with a timing onto Little Bianca. She's heard the footstep. Off angle now being held, but loses the fight. Lockdown now available for Cadillac's. Well, YTFK peeking with a frenzy. Optimistic, but Ruby left with a bulldog. Gets a second kill. Unlucky, cannot get the third onto Cadillac's. That is a full retake from Gago Bros. It is now 9-8. And, well, Adzor does get the Rolling Thunder out of this. So you have 4 ultimates available for each side. And that's going to spell chaos, in my opinion. You have Breach, you've got Brimstone, you've got Killjoy. It's a matter of trading these ults now. Because you use the Brimstone ult, if you can't deny the defuse or zones of the map, then you're going to have to deny that Killjoy ult. And that might as well be a win for the side of Gago Bros in that sense, because you still have so much to work with on the defending side. While if you lose your Brimstone ult on the side of FNF, well, not much you can do here. Cadillac's with another early pick onto Lil Bianca. Bypass waiting though for the trade. But there's a repeat from Adzor. Good trade coming out. It's 4v3. The Killjoy lockdown no longer available, but they do have the Breach ult. Adzor, you gotta get up, man. A lot of noise being cut. The Jimmy dismisses, but well, I mean, you don't dismiss for anything. Maybe trying to get more information into sewers, but misses the timing. Reconsiders it. Does get into contact. YTFK sharp aim coming out. Now it's a 3v2. Defending Jet. Reaggressing. Does see the Jet. Just decides to run away. Fakes it. But they know exactly where she might be holding. YTFK. Too smart for it. Now you've got the Gago Bros rotating over.
Left.
They know A side's completely open, but you've got those 2 strong ultimates coming out. Is ready to do it, but has smokes out at the wrong time. Just runs away with the iPad. Denies the... well, doesn't deny it.
One enemy remaining.
Ads are completely caught off guard. There goes the Brimstone ult, but it misses a sight because they decided to plant off an angle. YTFK now with the 4K. Now I was thinking, you know, that Brimstone ult could easily deny the plant, but it's not on the site itself. It's outside. It's a much more open plant. And now Gago Bros have to deal with a broken buy, Cadillacs with an hero rifle, and a full buy coming out for FNF Esports. It is now 10-8. I kind of want to see a timeout for Gago Bros here. They need to reconsider how they approach these early picks. While it is good that they're taking the first bloods, it's not really playing out when it gets to retaking and pretty much just taking control of the map again. Heavy A push again. Wow! Oh no! The knives whiff onto Little Bianca. Cadillacs though with a trade onto bypass. There goes the Brimstone. The air is good. Little Bianca with a wall bang onto Jimmy. While YTFK makes a distraction onto Tower. It is a bit of a broken buy, so they can just pretty much concede this round. Ads are flanking, but Little Bianca's... the timing! The Stinger does get so much value now. It's a 1v3, 1v2, make it. Completely stunned up, no cam, holding that angle, but Cadillac's just trying to get there. Is good for a 3k, and it's now 10-9, another close game. Yeah, post plants for the side of FNF, it's still pretty powerful. You've got the Brimstone and the Breach ult still available. You've also got the Bladestorm and the Empress, but I wouldn't say those are for retaking. They're just for taking picks, and yeah. They're on a broken buy. Actually, they're on an eco. Only one Guardian for the side of FNF. While the eco is starting to get healthy for Gago Bros. They're ready to receive. Cadillacs again with the first blood onto Little Bianca. Contact. But a lot of noise is actually caught from this. No one's giving away too much. And Brimstone again in a middle position. Just to smoke out whenever the call is given. Cadillac's below half health. And there's a Brim smoke to come down. At the right time as well, because they're re-aggressing into B. Ads are ready to receive though. And I'm seeing that. That's a Rolling Thunder ready to go. But no... Flash does come out. Bypass does get a pick onto Cadillacs. No cam.
30 seconds
Dies
left.
to Ads are good for a second. Runs out of bullets,
remaining.
but YTFK to trade. It's 3v1, but essentially nothing to work with here. And the defending Jet with the final pick onto YTFK. Good job. Then they completely avoided the retake. Just picking everyone off. Taking advantage of that broken buy. And yeah, keeping their ultimates, honestly. They've only used their Brimstone ult on the side of FNF. They still have the Rolling Thunder, and they need to do something with this. It is a very close game. It is currently 10-10. Oh. They need to do something. That Bladestorm is still also available, but I'm assuming it might only be used for an eco round. The Jimmy with a wallbang headshot onto Little Bianca. Tries to get another pick, completely dips. Actually, gets another. YTFK is down. Bladestorm denied. Bypass though. 3 HP left. But they still have that Rolling Thunder on both sides. Anything goes sour for Gago Bros. They have that available. Noise is caught. but the Jimmy's still looking at the right way. Cadillac's ready to receive in arcade. He's very low. He's only 3 HP. There he goes. No smokes left for the side of FNF. While the rest of Gago Bros still have a really good read on this. How do you enter this? Even if you use a Rolling Thunder, there's so much utility to deny the entry. And they're playing such deep positions on A, just left to retake
30
if ever.
seconds left.
They're opting for a save, I'm pretty sure. There's no way you can actually work off this. So they're just going to be holding from sewers, and no one to actually, well, aggress into that.
10 seconds left.
Yep, just crouch spam. Just crouch spam in sewers. That's the last thing you can do for this save, really. And that's the only thing you can. Realistically. Well played round. Now at an advantage. Gago Bros has 11 rounds to their name. And yeah, they're doing their defense side really well here. This was 7-5 a while ago. And for the eco of FNF, it's not looking great. If they lose this round, it's pretty much over. Even with the lockdown available for Gago Bros, it looks like a map 3 to me. Well, they just have to win this particular round, and yeah. Fast push again going into A main, no one opting to go through the doors. Sands is just blocked out by smoke. But they're holding back. That molly just denies the lockdown in that deep position. They have to wait for a bit. Is crosses onto side. But he can get picked off when that lockdown goes down. Had a good read. Does take down no cam. Ruby with a trade. It's now 2v4. Attack your Killjoy. Ult is still down. But they know exactly where Lil Bianca is. Defending Jet trying to get that pick right before the detain happens. Adzer though, holding that flank. Does she even consider? He's holding this angle. Adzer! Good shot onto Little Bianca. It is now 12-10 match point for Gago Bros.
Match point.
As I said it, the eco not looking great for FNF. They do have the Blade Storm, but they have to let that Jet do her thing. They need to support that Jet in getting the picks. It looks rough now for FNF. Gago Bros really stepping it up.
Spike's here.
Double digits across the board as well for Gago Bros. And that Rolling Thunder, we haven't seen it yet from Ruby. To clear a side or to even deny a post plant because, well, they can't even get a post plant. Alarm block gives off information. Bypass goes down and Cadillac just dips. There's another one in arcade. Lil Bianca does get a kill. And kills the lockdown. Does get a heal. Adzer almost dying to the site. But does pick up Lil Bianca. Rolling Thunder coming out. Now a 1v4 and it is over. We're going to map 3. 13-10. Gago Bros against FNF Esports. This is going to Ascent, guys. Here it is. Y'all wanted it. I wanted it. Map 3. We're gonna take another quick break, and we'll be back with the action on Ascent. See you soon. Alright, welcome back again, everyone, to the NiQ Community Cup. It's the Iron to Diamond tournament, and it is currently on map 3. 1 point for each team, FNF versus Gago Bros, and yeah, we're going to map 3 Ascent. So I'm excited to see this. We had a massive comeback from a 5-0 in Fracture from Gago Bros. They just completely demolished 13-10, and that's a same scoreline pretty much on Pearl from FNF. They went 13-10, and yeah, we should be going into the next map soon. I'm excited to see this. I'm expecting a Jet to come out, more operator plays. As for the controller, we're going to probably see a variety, either Omen or Astra. I'm 100% sure there will still be a Killjoy. If not a Killjoy, a Cypher. And as for the initiators, Sova is stable, unless you opt for the fade. Maybe KO, maybe a double initiator turns a double duelist. And yeah. As we go into agent selection, we do have hovers coming out, but nothing really finalized yet. They're considering the Jimmy going back on Reyna. And wow. That's a new look on Ascent. We're going to opt for the Sage. Cadillac does lock it in, while the rest of the others still deciding what to do. I'm looking at that Jet hover, and another Reyna pick again. Bypass was a controller, but now going into Duelist. This is going to be a new look for Bypass here, while NoCam going from the Sentinel role, considering going for Brimstone. While we do have another look, we do have Lil Bianca going onto the Killjoy, just switching over from the role from Bypass. And ooh, Neon on Ascent. I've casted it before, it's not great, but if you can pull it off, I'd love to see it. Maybe a Jet instead. As you also see the Omen being hovered on the attacking side for Gago Bros. Ooh, the Jet turns into a Neon last second. And there it is, Sova will be the sole initiator for each team. Reyna for both sides again. Not a mirror matchup, but we're gonna have to see how these compositions play out. Again, Neon on Ascent is not that strong unless you know how to play very differently. You know how to break the meta, as we say. And as long as that has a lot of value coming out. And yeah, what I prefer personally, from the Omen compared to Brimstone is that you have rechargeable smokes, and the Brimstone has such a limited range for how far those smokes can reach. But those smokes are annoying to deal with, especially on the defending side. Now, looks like a lot of the attackers on Gago Bros will be going through A main for the moment, while the rest of the team on FNF just holding such default angles for now. Reyna will be taking charge of mid, while Killjoy has a setup on B, deciding whether to go for a share for a ghost. Does go for the ghost, while the Jimmy tries to get early information, while the rest of the team, Neon and Bypass, have 1 kill each now left on a 4v4. The rest of the team still untouched. That Brimstone smoke goes down, but YTFK all the way pushed in bottom mid. Footsteps still being made. Just waiting out that Brimstone smoke. Well, that Sheriff is a really risky thing to pick up right now. Footsteps now heard, retreating. While the pings come out, they're considering they might go through mid link, but unfortunately not. Sova Dart, does it clear out YTFK? It does not, gets 1 pick, but is instantly traded by Adzor. NoCam another pick onto Iz, no smokes left, and NoCam with a second kill onto the Neon now. Just 1v3. All up to Adzor, who seems to be going back to A, while the rest of the team from FNF holding back, just waiting for that spike to go down. NoCam does have an idea though, holding from heaven. Might catch him off guard here, even. Adzor though. Adzor has the timing! gets no cam off.
Revealing area.
Just deletes him. 13 seconds left. The plan has to go down now. The rest of the team now going to go
10
back through
seconds
A.
left.
Heaven.
Spike planted.
Here's a footstep. Ding goes on to Adzor. He's left to go down. Doesn't get the kill on the little Bianca. Just left 1 HP. Defuse comes out from Ruby, and that is the first round. The pistol going to FNF Esports again. They've won all of their pistol rounds, I think. I'm not sure. I think Pearl, they've lost 1 pistol, but compared to last map, they've constantly got the pistol maps, and seems to be their strong suit. Now it's a matter of them holding on to this bonus round of theirs, their anti-eco, while, of course, Gago Bros, they just have to save here. They have to work with a lesser buy, just pistols. But they have a Neon, they have Arena, so much fast utility coming out, and it seems to be a fake with a dart going on to A, but the rest of the team going into B. Recon bot does reveal a lot into B, bypass with a pick, with a Marshall. The rest of the team, they just have to scurry their way in. That Killjoy utility is still there to deny their entry. Brimstone smoke's not available in that range. YTFK getting the dink onto Cadillacs and bypass cleaning it up. YTFK trying to leer in past the Neon smoke. Reload Herd doesn't get the kill quite onto Neon. Holds with a frenzy. No cam ready to re-aggress. But Neon looking at the wrong time. No cam with a Spectre kills run and gun. Gets another kill onto Iz, and it's left to Adzor once again, who was all alone in A. Sees the Brimstone reloading, but doesn't get the kill. No cam switches back to the Bulldog in time. 3k for no cam. It is now 2-0. I'm not sure this Neon is the play, but again, we gotta let these agents cook. We gotta let possibly this half to end and see how they play the agent. In Ascent, it's not a very popular pick at all. As they try to go back into A, the Brimstone, very annoying to deal with still, and the Marshall now holding aggressive from A main. Bypass holding the angle. Doesn't get the headshot into Neon. But there goes the Brim smoke. How do you deal with this? Do you just run through it? Do you use your flashes to go in? But Reyna's all the way in mid-link. Marshall now repositioned into tree, while the rest of the others hold from mid. Neon slides in, now wall comes out to deny the door entry. YTFK might catch a timing onto the Jimmy, but no, he wins it! Wall broken, Heaven now left with a smoke, and the rest of the team rotate over.
Right here.
The Jimmy is picked off eventually, but is just hiding in the smoke, gets a pick onto Ruby. Wall's broken. Cadillac's watching the angle though, no cam with a trade, and is, again, the trade, Little Bianca. 83 HP on Heaven. But difficult angles to to clear here.
Revealing
You've got one in Hell, given away by the Sova Dart, and that is a Neon to clean it up on Heaven. That is the first round going to Gago Bros, that is a rifle round, and now we are going to see a proper full buy from both teams here. Except, well, because 3 people went down from Gago Bros, they're not able to really commit into this, and they're going to lose a lot of credits. While that was a bonus round from FNF, and, well, there's the op. It's the 4th round, and we're already seeing the operator come in from bypass. They've also got the Brimstone ult, except they've also got a lot of other ultimates coming out soon for the side of Gago Bros. Bypass again with a very aggressive angle in A main, and gets a pick onto Neon. No res available yet, 2 points away. So they can't get that res back. Except they don't have a healer on FNF, so they can't do anything about that really low health from bypass with an operator. Now repositioned back into tree again. Smoke comes out, blocks Arena from that angle. And now they know where the Yop is, repositioned again. Tries to get another pick, but because of that low health, does get the wall bang shot onto bypass. YTFK now holding within the smoke. The Jimmy gets a pick onto no cam. Oh, timing almost there for YTFK. Still holding from mid. Both Lear still available. Killjoy still holding. YTFK does get the Jimmy though. Little Bianca onto Cadillacs. Adzur the trade. Recon bolt is good for the information. Doesn't get broken. They know he's on site. Adzur again, left to clutch. Ruby. Oh! It is a spray transfer coming out from Adzur. It is a clutch coming out. 2-2 so far for Gago Bros. Look, Adzur's constantly left in clutch situations. And this time he's actually pulled it off. That spray transfer is very risky. That Reyna did not opt for the Lear in that angle. I think that would have been a really good trade right off the bat, but unfortunately, just the aggression coming out from Adzur, knowing that someone would aggress from stairs.
There.
Really good. Bypass now with a Blade Storm, ready to go into B main. Gets a headshot onto Adzur. Cadillac does trade with Spectre, and now Rez is online. So Adzur is brought back to life. Omen repositions in the weirdest spot. Wait, no, that's in the backside. Paranoia does come out at the right time. Completely blind. Little Bianca cannot do anything with the Sheriff. Now it's a 2v5.
Last player standing.
Whiffs the Sheriff shot. Neon does get the flick onto Ruby and cleans it up. It is a flawless, well, technically flawless round for Gago Bros. Now 3-2. Wow. I'm wondering whether they would actually do an attacking op for Gago Bros, or if they would eventually do an attacking op for the side of FNF. Now, buys are still a bit weird on the side of Gago Bros, kind of like still holding onto that Spectre, just probably picked it up from a previous round and never got the chance to change guns. But here it is again, a main aggression. Silver Dart is broken, but by 2 people. That's a lot of gunshots heard. Brimstone Smoke goes down to deny any sort of entry so far, but they're trying to break this in anyway. There's Paranoia being pinged out to go through Jenny, and no one's actually biting from this. No one's rotating from the defending side. That recon board, that lineup going all the way to the side of Heaven. Paranoia's good, takes a Sova off the angle in Heaven, but doesn't really do much. Molly now goes into tree. Ruby does get the Jimmy though. And that Brimstone ult can still deny that plant. Is a bit too late though. Cadillacs will survive, can heal herself up. Taking that other side of the wall. Is good with the angle, but is completely denied. Whiffs the Spectre shots. Neon left with an overdrive. Too many targets to look at. One drops down from Heaven. That's one. But as the trade comes in from Bypass, that was really unlucky from Cadillacs. Feel like just a bit distracted from the Lear and the possibility that Heaven could be pushed, but the Spectre shots do not land. That would have been a massive kill onto the Brimstone, but it happens. It's a Spectre, and it's so much pressure being placed onto you. I don't blame them. And there it is, the attacking side now with an operator. Not on, well, a duelist, but on the controller. Wondering if that's actually going to be used at all, but no. They switch back to the Vandal, unlucky. Omen operator is actually very viable. I feel like people forget that's a thing, but yeah, if you don't have any quote-unquote operator agents, such as Chamber and Jet, maybe Reyna, if you really feel like it. Omen is a really good substitute for it. But I like this from Gago Bros. They're taking mid control now. They previously didn't do anything about it. Doing something, but Bypass denies that completely. The smoke just helping the wrong person here. A lot of pre-firing happening. But nothing yet. No proper aggression, no picks onto anything. But is though catches out Bypass. And yeah, Adzur trying to clear out wine here. Just trying to move back into A. It's a 4v4, but nothing much to work with other than the Empress at the moment. If Little Bianca does get a pick though, that is a lockdown available for the defending side. That smoke is constantly going into mid, just trying to flush it out.
30
Cadillacs
seconds left.
takes advantage of the whiffing from NoCam. Even takes another pick. Little Banker does go down. No lockdown available. The Jimmy does get Ruby. And now it's a 1v2 retake from YTFK. No Empress available.
Spike planted.
The Jimmy still has his, and that's... Sova, you also have to deal with now playing double hell. That drone will give that position away, but the Jimmy's also there. YTFK still has both Lears available though. If he opts to do it, drone does not clear him out, but he shoots it anyway. Shock dart almost landing. 2 Lears now used. Adzor almost getting caught off, but is able to get the kill onto YTFK, and now 4-3 for Gago Bros. I like that. I like that they tried to get more mid control. No one's actually pushed through Catwalk yet. No one's really taken a successful fight onto tree until Iz did, but that was a long range fight. No one's really approached from tree. Cadillacs walking all the way up. As Sage, you've got a battle Sage. And now you've got an eco from the side of FNF. Just have to land your shots here. Gago Bros opting to go back into B main.
Right here.
But bypass. With an aggressive push into mid, gets a headshot onto the Jimmy with a Marshall. Dart is good for the information. Does not reveal anyone though, but it is broken. That Marshall is deadly if you land your headshots. Res is available though, so it does get the Jimmy back into the fight. Trying to go back into B main, but they have so much to work here. They have the Killjoy lockdown and the Hunter's Fury available, both at backside. So how do you get into this? If the lockdown goes down and you're committing to B, it's basically over. You have to kill them before they kill you or you get detained. So now they realize this, they're trying to go back into mid, going to A. Bypass ready for this though. They don't consider that angle. Cadillacs just go down to Jimmy with a trade. Now they're running over to mid. Possibly a market push here. Lear does go out. They're going to have to clear this. No Cam almost getting Neon with 2 HP left. They're trying to flank the Reyna, who's left on A. YTFK alone. But they hear the Neon. Headshots onto Neon. Do they know this? They're trying to fake that it's B, but the Spike is now alone on A. If Adzor goes down here, they barely have any time, but thank God, YTFK does get picked off by the Jimmy. Or, well, no, Adzor. That was Adzor. Sorry. But yeah, this is well played so far from Gago Bros. They have the correct reads, they know how to do their mid-calls, and they rotate accordingly, while you're left with a Brimstone basically to anchor and spam his utility in A while the Killjoy holds from B side. But other than that, there needs to be a change here. They're doing the exact same setup every time for FNF Esports. So I'd like to see an adjustment come out from them. And how else they would approach this. Because Reyna's always there waiting in mid. You always have Jet in A main. So they're playing a rotational agent, and you also have Killjoy just locking down B, but nothing else. No changes other than that. Adzor does get the first blood onto bypass. Cadillacs again not considering that angle in bottom mid. Izzo trying to get that trade, but no one's in the smoke. Just backs away from it. Tree push now there. Neon does get Ruby. A side almost clear. No Cam just hiding in that spot. Do they consider that he might be in dice? Good for the read. No Cam does go down, and now it's a 2v5. No, 2v3 retake. Door closes, but do they consider that Neon is close in tree? Lockdown is invested. Stun, good for it. Double stun coming out. Little Bianca in so much danger here. Still gets a headshot onto Neon. Now they have to leave the site. They know exactly where the Omen might be. No one's detained, but Hunter's Fury now used. Oh, that was close. Little Bianca does get a third kill, but the Hunter's Fury cleans it up. Close call. It is now 6-3 in favor of Gago Bros, and this seems to be what I what I like. This is their momentum that is preserved from Fracture all the way into Ascent, and even on the attacking side, which seems to be, well, kind of difficult for other players, especially in Iron to Diamond. But if you can dominate on the attacking side of things, especially as your first side, I think that's such a good way to avoid being gapped in terms of score and rounds. Cadillacs again holding mid. Needs to be careful with those mid pushes. The rest of the team though, holding out in B. Smoke goes down for CT. Little Banker holding from the side itself. YTFK though peeks from market. Shock Dart does not land, and now there's so much utility. Brimstone Smoke is finally here. Cadillacs does get bypass though. They hear that rotation. Wall does go down. Cadillacs is fed up with being shot from that angle, just walls it off completely. But, well, there it is. Does team blind. No one there to actually take advantage of that though.
Spike planted.
Is not able to teleport away. YTFK though, trying to clear angles. But two people? No, Cadillacs is just holding from tree. Do they consider this? YTFK caught off guard, yes! No Cam does get a kill though. 2v2 retake.
Last player standing.
No Cam does go down to Cadillacs. That's a third kill. Ruby left alone on site with an Ares. Not a great buy. Does get a dink onto Adzor.
Shock dart.
But you still have to deal with Cadillacs on the other side.
Remaining.
Shock Dart is good for it. I don't think he has time. Ruby looking in the wrong direction. Cadillacs now with a 4K. Doesn't keep the weapon though. Well, that was
Even
such
with
good
numbers,
positioning
anything
coming
is
out from Cadillacs.
Remember that.
Oh, wow. They were so worried that Cadillacs would have rounded all the way back into heaven, but they hold on to that position in tree, and she's good for 4 kills. Again, Gago Bros with such good reads on where their on where the FNF players might be, how they would approach a side. Unluckily, because of the Killjoy ult the other time, they weren't able to deny it, but they still had that read. Again, with the B push initially, and barely any buys, is able to get the kill, sticks the ultimate, and the Jimmy taking advantage of those whiffed Sheriff shots bypass her with a trade. It is now a 3v4 retake, with nothing basically from
Spike planted.
the side of FNF, but there's Ruby. 1 kill with a stinger. No Cam trying to break that door. Position's now revealed to Jimmy though. Good for it. Good for the position. Good for the angle. 1 player left in CT, and the Jimmy with the 3rd kill. 8-3. Super dominant round. Super dominant showing from Gago Bros. It's a massive score difference out from Gago Bros. And on the attacking side of Ascent as well. This is really concerning for the side of FNF. You might want to do more about your defending side. I know it was your eco, but something worked in those 3 rounds that got you the wins in the first place, right? Something has to change. Something has to work well for this. The Brimstone ult is available, but that's only pretty much for denying the plant. Bypass does get the neon though, and they immediately take action to just break that door, deny the A push. Res does come out, so it's back to a 5v5. Unfortunately, they don't have that same power of healing on the side of FNF, so Bypass is left with 30 HP. It is a double hold coming out from tree though. Neon, does she consider it? No Cam does get the kill, but too many targets now. Cadillacs and is 1 kill each. The Jimmy onto YTFK, and now 2v3. Ruby has a timing onto Cadillacs once again on Catwalk. Does not consider that. The Jimmy's there though to hold the angle for Cadillacs, and now Little Banka. What are you left to do here? It's 1v3. You don't have your lockdown. And that dart won't reveal you, but yep. The Jimmy holding now from CT, tries to circle around while the rest of the team is holding from side. He might as well get the timing here, but the Lear comes out, and it's good for it. Completely blind, he gets a 3k.
Switching sides.
9-3. Does anyone believe in the curse here? You have to root for FNF here. It is currently 3-9. And you gotta believe, again, you gotta believe in the curse if you're FNF here. This is concerning. You dominated on map 1, and then fracture your second map. You lose to a comeback. And now you're absolutely getting stomped on by Gago Bros. I don't know how Sage would hold. Usually, yeah, she's played in mid. But, you've got the Omen set up in A, where FNF seems to be pushing for now, while the Jet tries to get any information into mid. That smoke tries to get them in a deeper angle, but that's 4 players waiting for them. They do back out. The smoke fades, but crossfire now held. But now Neon loses it because of the consideration that someone might be pushing from the tree. Smokes go down at the wrong time. Is still good for one. YTFK does get the trade. 3v3 now. It's a retake. Plant does go. And there are still Brimstone smokes to deal with. YTFK, though, going into heaven, trying to do the same tech that Iz did a while ago. But the smoke fades at the wrong time. Cadillac is good for the pick onto YTFK. No cam. All the way in main, dies to a classic. Ruby left with a ghost, too many angles. And there it is. That's a defuse. That's 10-3 for Gago Bros. That is now the pistol round coming out. And wow. They have to hold on to this. Come on, FNF. Well, everyone would love to see a 9-3 curse, honestly. Just like, oh yeah, we'd like to get the game into a more even scale again. We'd like to see a Thrifty round come out, possibly. I've seen it before. I've casted so many Thrifty rounds. It might just happen again. And if they know how to do this, especially FNF, they've had a really good Thrifty round on Pearl. I'm sure they can get themselves back into this game. But it's looking dangerous with that anti-eco. Bucky for the Neon. And Iz with the early pick onto YTFK with a Marshall.
Scanning ahead.
Adzorm getting information, does not get tagged. Gets a wallbang headshot onto bypass off of this recon dart. And is another Marshall shot. Now the Neon just running in with a shotgun. Do they know this? Just running in. Deletes little Bianca, and they know where no cam is with the 3rd kill. It is now 11-3, 1 round away from match point. Oh my. I'm not sure they have that same level of read as Gago Bros here. They're absolutely dominating and deleting them from the game. Just is with 3 kills as Omen with a Marshall in tree. Like, if that happens, it's pretty much, well, your spirits do get down, but I'm sure FNF have something to take this game back. I do love that teddy bear. Is again holding from tree. Backs away, though, from the better buy coming from FNF Esports. Now Neon just holding closer with a judge. But no one's there to buy it, really. They're just back out. Bypass does get a pick onto Tajimi. The damage is done, though. 2 HP left, and does get the cleanup. 2 kills for Neon with a judge in A main, and it's now 3v2. You have the healer again on the side of the defenders, and the spike is even down in A main. Now, does Cadillacs know that YTFK right next to them? Has to get the repeat, right?
Last player standing.
Unfortunately, YTFK does get the 3k. There. And again, Adzor left in a 1v2 situation. Just having to clutch things out. Smokes are still available. So he has to deal with that, or does he opt for a save here? Maybe just pick up a rifle and pretty much go, but that is a Guardian still from the last round.
Gun here.
Sees a judge that got 2 kills in A main. No cam holding from Wine though, and it's good for it. 20 HP left, but does read that Adsur is flanking. That is a 4th round now for FNF. That was the bonus round though for Gago Bros. That we have to consider that. Now we have the Odin. Well, never mind. He was considering using the Odin. Adsur had it initially, but switches back to the Vandal. And a Judge again for the Neon. The Overdrive is available. You also have the From the Shadows for the Omen. And yeah, we're gonna have to see how this plays out again. The Judge won't get much in A for now because everyone on FNF seems to be pushing from B. Denying that information though, that smoke does come out, but Bypass is just gonna walk right through it. Drone just trying to get more information, but no one there to answer. Now it's a double hold from Tree again. A lot of noise is caught, no one's really giving away anything. Now they're clearing out those rat positions. They know this Neon likes playing with shotguns. Again, they're passive smoke. They can just walk through this because they've cleared all the close angles.
There.
They have to be careful with this Judge and Tree though. YTFK might get completely baited by this. Does get the pick onto Iz, but is dead. Denies the Empress. Recon Bolt is good for getting more information. Judge just runs through, the stun comes out. The slide again, Overdrive, double slide coming out from the Neon. Lil Bianca does get Adsur though. They have to be careful here. That Neon is super low in health. The Jimmy trying to battle it out. Cadillac does get the Spike Carrier. 2v2, and that Killjoy is low in health. Reyna, Jimmy, trying to go back, but doesn't want to give his position away with that Lear. He knows that Spike is down, and they know they have to go to A. I don't think they can even plant the Spike at this point.
10 seconds left.
Cadillac smart with it, though. That should just not die. 6 seconds left. They have to hunt her down, but she doesn't. They don't know. They don't know they're in wine. 12-4, no time left.
Healer.
Well played from Cadillac.
Match point.
Move in. Got it?
And that's it. That's match point. 12-4 so far, and how do you get back from this? Ruby can't even afford a gun. They're left on a Sheriff, and they have so much to work with on the side of Gago Bros, and it looks hopeless at this point, but they just need to be able to take advantage of this, especially with 2 players on B, just holding very close angles. That dart is not revealed, but the Jimmy with the spam is good for it. Bypasses all the way through though. They've completely swarmed the B side, but that charge is still dangerous. Bypass denies it though. Paranoia is good. Another Odin into market. It's a 2v4 retake. The rest is available, but at this point, I don't think you're able to retake this.
Last player standing.
This is definitely a 5-12. FNF getting around, just holding on for their dear life. Cadillac's now good for the kill into Bypass. Another pick would be great, but the crossfire setup, Ruby is good for the kill. That's a tough crossfire to work with here. 1 into stairs and 1 holding close in lane. Yeah, FNF, they get to hold on to this, and looking at the buy of Gago Bros, not all of them can buy full guns, so they're going to opt for a save here, or maybe a half buy per member. But that was a very expensive round. There were so many Odins on the side of Gago Bros, but that was a really fast push onto B side. And they might do the same again for B. They heard the Omen cross into Wine, so I'm sure they're going to clear this out. Blade Storm is now used by Bypass. Oh, he's in a bit of trouble here. But Bypass right-clicks, has no gun on him anyway. That was a complete bait. Tries to right-click for another person, potentially, but... Neon good with a Frenzy, 22 HP, now healed up by the Sage. The rest is still available, but he's down all the way in Wine. This is still a weaker buy, and no one really holding from Tree. Ruby good with a 1-tap onto Cadillacs. Door's now broken as well, 2 players in Heaven. YTFK just holding from beneath Heaven. 5 HP left on Little Bianca though. So much pressure from Churi. Ads are in the Jimmy with pistol kills. No Cam going to opt for the lineup, and the Brimstone ult.
Last player
They should consider
standing.
this. It's good for the lineup. Is picked off. The Molly and the ult are still there. Do they have time for this? And yes, they do. It is 13-5. Gago Bros is your
Thrifty.
finals champion here.
Defenders.
Strong showing on Ascent on map 3 from a comeback from Fracture. Wow, what a matchup. That's it. We got what we wanted. We saw a comeback. We saw so many good plays. 9 first bloods from Bypass. Unfortunately, they were not able to pick it up. But that was such a dominant show from Gago Bros. Now we're going to take a little break. When we come back, we're going to be interviewing someone from the side of Gago Bros. So we're going to see you real soon. And congratulations to Gago Bros. They are your champions for this NiQ Community Cup Finals. We'll be right back. All right,
Hello.
welcome back for the interview. I'm here with two of the players from Gago Bros. I have the Jimmy and I have Calum as well, who was sorry, what was your in-game name again?
I'm RTX Azure.
Oh,
one with
RTX.
silver.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. So, now I want to talk about that comeback on Fracture first and foremost. You were down 5-0. So how did you manage to pull yourselves back up? How did you manage to outstrat or outread the enemy team?
Who will? Okay.
You
So
first, Caleb. Yeah.
You can go first.
okay. I see that the Killjoy is always on tower on A, right? So I think that if we get the tower control, we can get A first. If we get the drop control, we can get B. So I think it's just between the tower control and the drop control, just like that. And after that, yeah, we can get the round. Then, oh yeah, this is working. This is working. So
Yep.
I tell my teammate, we always do this if we get the control. And I tell Catilex, because he's good on timing, the one with Killjoy, I tell him to, you have to lurk, give us the info. And then yeah, we win the round just like that. We
I
win the
actually saw
round
that.
again and again.
Yep. So I noticed Cadillacs was either getting the perfect timings onto different
Yes,
players. Unfortunately,
really good at
Cadillacs
timing.
also Unfortunately, Cadillacs also missed the timing onto Ascent. They always got picked off in Catwalk. They were not looking at the right direction. So having that Sage was really valuable for you guys, but also the Jimmy, I want to talk about something here. On Fracture
Hi.
as well, you were Reyna, and for a lot of rounds, actually, for the first few rounds, you barely you had 0 kills, and yet you still pulled off that comeback. So how did that affect your mental, or how did you get yourself back into the game? How did you start fragging out?
Okay. So first of all, like, I was kind of pressured when the Euro game because I was like, I was really clueless on how do we overcome the double picks and everything. And then I was like trying to calm myself, and then my friends just like, "Hey, chill. We got this." And then like, oh, okay, thank you. And then I'm just starting to breathe out, breathe in and breathe out, and then just like, okay, I can do this, man. And then yeah, we're just pulling it off together.
That's good, actually. So who is your IGL, technically speaking, for your team?
It's me.
Yeah, it's
Oh, it's Kalo. Okay. See, the thing
Yeah.
is, right? I was looking at throughout the game, even from Fracture itself in the later rounds. I think when you started getting the comeback, and then especially in Ascent, you started having the correct reads every single time. You were having so many good mid-round calls, knowing when to rotate or how to have other players anchor particular areas. So, how did you? Do you practice with your team a lot? Do you play with them a lot, or is it just something that you had the brains to come up with?
Actually, I just came in the team, and then we got no training. We just do 1v1s, and yeah.
Just a 1v1
We just
situation.
do 1v1s on the sand, like with Azure and then Majikwa. Yeah, that's why.
Yep. See, because I saw I forgot the name specifically, but your Sova was constantly left in so many clutch situations, and that one round, I think that was the first round that you got. That was, or maybe multiple rounds, right? You had that spray transfer from Sova onto Reyna, and I said, okay, this is where their momentum builds up. It's good to see them come back, but it was an absolute stomp on Ascent. So congratulations again on the win.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Well
you so
played
much.
from you guys, and that's a 2-1. How do you feel about that?
We feel good.
Uh,
We feel good.
I don't even know. I'm just like,
On the first
we
match,
just
we are
thrilled.
tilted. We are
Just
very
chill.
tilted on the yeah.
Oh yeah, just chill. That was a good matchup against FNF Esports. So good that you guys pull that off. Good job again. Congratulations, and thank you everyone for watching, coming to the stream, and supporting your favorite team. Yeah, Gago Bros, you're finalists. Thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.